Remember, this is a state visit. It's not even an official visit. It's a state visit, very rare in American standards. And this is the highest honor that we can have. And we as Kenyans appreciate and should appreciate that the benefits that we have already elucidated are going to help us in the long run. So yes, you may say this and that with regards to the costs, but in my humble submission, as the government spokesman, the benefits far outweigh the costs. However, the government has put in place measures to reduce international travel, and there is now a system where, through the head of public service, Felix Koskei, there are approvals that have to be made and costs that are attendant. Even myself, if I want to travel, I must demonstrate where there is money and the reason for travel. For your information, although this is subject to the approval of Parliament, from the new financial year, all international travel has been ceased by 100%. Only very essential ones that are going to be approved. So that should give you comfort that this government is taking action. But let's see, because it's a proposal through the finance bill, whether Parliament will agree with that. But most importantly, I think it is good to say that under President William Ruto, our status as a country has grown. We are very well respected. And, by the way, you can't sit in Nairobi and expect the world to come to you. You must go to the world. And when you go to the world, there's some cost, isn't it? Yeah, there's some cost. Let's just appreciate that. Yeah, and our president is a visionary. He understands the undertakings that require his personal involvement. And as a head of state, I think that is something we need to support him with, so that when we have these challenges, he is the father of the nation. He must go and look out to feed the nation, to make it stand and grow again. We will be visiting farmers who are growing sunflower, in Swahili we call alizeti, and also an industry that is already processing this, so that we are able to showcase how this value chain can improve the lives of fellow Kenyans. At the national level, His Excellency the President is currently on a 4-day tour of the United States, official state visit. This is a historic visit, as it is the first by an African head of state since 2018, and the first by a Kenyan head of state in 2 decades. Kenya and the US have enjoyed a cordial relationship for 60 years, and this long-standing partnership has facilitated increased cooperation on economic and security issues. This enduring bilateral relationship has also been bolstered by Kenya's strategic importance to the United States as a key regional anchor and gateway to the East African region. The President's visit to the US, which is themed Partnership for Prosperity, will thus strengthen the partnership between Kenya and the US, and will also enhance our collaboration to the areas of trade, climate change, and regional security. President William Ruto will be meeting the US counterpart, Joe Biden, already, and also these meetings envisage benefits that will come from this trip, including in matters health, education, partnership, global democracy, trade and security partnerships, as well as investments in the creative economy. In particular, the President has announced that 5 Kenyan universities will be signing a students' exchange program with American universities to help contribute in the academic experiences between the 2 students of these great countries. Kenya has also signed a 22.88 billion investment plan with the Coca-Cola for the expansion of its operations in Kenya over the next 5 years as a regional hub. This will create approximately 3,000 jobs for Kenyans and contribute to our local economy. More agreements will be signed in the course of the tour, which will have a positive impact on our economy and regional standing. Further, Microsoft and G42 have announced a comprehensive package of digital investments in Kenya at an initial investment of $1 billion. That's about 130 billion Kenya shillings, way beyond whatever we are talking about, the cost of the plane, whatever. The comprehensive package will include one local language, AI model development, and that is Kiswahili, and research, an East African innovation lab, coupled with the broad AI digital skills training, international and local connectivity investment, and collaboration with the government of Kenya to support safe and secure cloud services across East Africa. The partnership will be formalized this week as part of His Excellency President William Ruto's state visit, going forward. The development of Swahili English AI models and launch of AI societal services will support national economic growth and development and add to Kenya's unique cultural and linguistic needs. Consequently, the collaboration between Microsoft and G42 will provide support to local universities through the Microsoft Africa Research Institute and the Microsoft AI for Good Lab, the Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence in Abu Dhabi, and selected universities from Kenya and East Africa. Additionally, AI for Good Lab in Nairobi it will utilize its AI technology to partner with varied non-profit organizations in addressing economic and societal issues across the East African region. The government is enhancing collaboration between the national government and all of the 47 county governments to promote service delivery and safeguard the interests and welfare of Kenyans across the country. Guided by its development blueprints, the Constitution of Kenya 2010, the Kenya Vision 2030 Medium-Term Plan 4, that has also embedded the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the Better Plan. The Kenya Kwanza government is partnering with the county governments in the exchange of information, coordination of policies and administration, as well as in enhancing the capacities of both levels of government in performing their functions. Accordingly, our week-long tour of duty in Nakuru County aims at highlighting the fruits of this collaboration, including 90 key projects by the national government and programs as well that are ongoing across this great county, the fourth city of the Republic of Kenya. The government is committed to equipping their youth with necessary skills to access digital jobs and to become certified on skills for the fourth industrial revolution. As a result, it has initiated the Jitume program in 120 technical and vocational education and training TVET institutions to provide the youth with access to digital skills as well as digital services and opportunities. The program, which also addresses the challenges of access to digital devices and internet connectivity, has been deployed in 4 constituencies in Nakuru County, including Nakuru Town West, Gilgil, Nakuru Town East, and Kuresoi South. Already, over 500 students of the Rift Valley Institute of Science and Technology, RVIST, have benefited from the Jitume program, with 300 of them now able to sustain themselves financially and even create more jobs in their areas of specialization. Moving forward, the government will ensure that the program is enhanced to include more online platforms that will accommodate the increased number of youth who are applying for the training. We encourage the youth to embrace the program and, in a true spirit of Jitume, to take up the available online opportunities for their livelihoods and to get the requisite training and skills for the domestic and international jobs. The government is undertaking major reforms to liberalize this sector. A task force has been set up since 2020 April, which recommended, amongst other interventions, the financing of sector to a tune of Kenya shillings 950 million. And I'm very happy to say an initial amount of money was given of 200 million. And every year the government is allocating a development expenditure of 150 million to this corporation. Plans are also underway to establish 84,000 acres of pyrethrum by the year 2027-2028 and to stabilize future production to ensure sustainable supply of pyrethrum products in the world market. Already, the ongoing government interventions have witnessed a steady increase in flour production to the current 310 metric tons by the year 2022-2023. Additional reforms will thus create more jobs, attract foreign investments, improve the livelihoods of Kenyans engaged in the pyrethrum value chain, and ensure that Kenya regains its position as the world-leading pyrethrum producer. Revival of the Itare Dam project. The government has embarked on a 100 dams projects to construct 100 dams across the country in a bid to enhance water security and improve on water storage and management. This project will also mitigate the adverse effects of flooding, as has been witnessed in the past weeks and months, by capturing and utilizing runoff water. To this end, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Kenyans, high-level efforts are underway to fast-track the revival and completion of works of the Itare Dam project, which has stalled since the year 2018 due to contractual and legal challenges. The project will cost a total of Kenya shillings 47 billion and will be funded through a G2G agreement between the Kenya Kwanza and Government of Italy. This is an increase from 35 billion because of the time and also other attendant costs. That is the reason why, but it will be done in 4 years. By the year 2028, God willing, that's when it will be complete. Upon completion, the Itare Dam will hold 27 million cubic meters of water and will produce 100,000 cubic meters of water daily, against a then target of Nakuru County of 120,000 cubic meters of water, as per the projections from the county government. This will ultimately improve public sanitation and resolve the historical water shortage that have plagued the communities in Kuresoi North, Kuresoi South, Molo, Njoro sub-counties, as well as Nakuru City and its environs. Additionally, the project, which is set to begin within the next 3 months, will create more than 10,000 jobs for the local population, as over 70% of the skilled labor that is required for the dam construction will be sourced from the local communities, and 30% technical from the communities, and the rest from the rest of Kenya. This will reduce the unemployment rate in the area and enhance the country's economic growth. Trees and forestry play a critical role in mitigating climate change, and the government is committed to accelerating the achievements of the 30% tree cover by the year 2032. To reach this goal, the government has developed a national landscape and ecosystem restoration strategy to restore 10.6 million hectares of degraded landscapes and ecosystem by the year 2032 by growing 15 billion trees for improved ecological functionality, resilience to climate change, and better livelihoods. The National Tree Growing Day that was gazetted on 10th May 2024, in solidarity with all persons adversely affected by the cyclic floods and in recognition of the current effects of climate change, contributed to this mission and witnessed the planting of more than 14 million trees across the country. So the figure for 10th of May is 14 million. Each adult was required to grow 50 trees and every child 10 trees, translating to over 1 billion trees. But then we were able to plant about 14 million, and this is according to the Jaza Miti app. The highest numbers of trees were planted in Machakos County at 6,075,129 trees, and Nairobi County's 5,131,992 trees. There is still need for more trees, and the government is urging all Kenyans to plant additional trees within their homes, neighborhoods, and institutions. On the 24th of May, 2024, Mr. Felix Koske, Chief of Staff and Head of the Public Service, will officiate a tree planting exercise in Nairobi County again. Kenya has published the Finance Bill 2024, which is aimed at amending the laws relating to various taxes and duties to stimulate growth and investment in the country. The proposals, which are now open for public participation, include increases of allowable pension deductions from Kenya shillings 20,000 to 30,000 per month, amendment of the income tax to provide for advanced pricing agreements, which will bring greater certainty with respect to tax outcomes of international transactions, revision of the window for remitting excise duty collaborations and collections for the current from the current 24 hours to 5 working days for alcoholic beverage manufacturers, and the introduction of withholding tax on goods supplied to the public entities at 3% for residents persons and 5% for non-residents. We urge all of you to engage with the bill and through your representatives share feedback with the government to ensure that your voice is heard and that your concern regarding the proposals are taken into consideration before the bill becomes law. And that means even issues to do with bread and what have you. These are just proposals. They are not cast in stone. That is why we make a proposal as a government, but then the people's representatives in the National Assembly have an opportunity to then say, yes, we agree with this, or this we do not. If you remember last year we had the finance bill. It was as contested, maybe even more contested than this one. And there were proposals that were initially in the bill, but then they were dropped or amended because this is a hearing and caring and listening government. We urge all of you to engage with the bill and through your representatives share feedback with the government to ensure that your voice is heard and that your concern regarding the proposals are taken into consideration before the bill becomes law. And that means even issues to do with bread and what have you. These are just proposals. They are not cast in stone. That is why we make a proposal as a government, but then the people's representatives in the National Assembly have an opportunity to then say, yes, we agree with this, or this we do not. If you remember last year we had the finance bill. It was as contested, maybe even more contested than this one. And there were proposals that were initially in the bill, but then they were dropped or amended because this is a hearing and caring and listening government. So please, let's not assume that it is already done. It's not cast in stone. Make your proposals, and the government will hear and take action.